My life had been getting pretty difficult. For 6 months I lived on the streets, and towards the end of that journey it was very difficult, very hot, very tiring. It made me sick in more than one way, and I knew it had to end. And it did. But then I ran into some more difficult times, even once I got off the streets. I went right into being a student, taking classes, having to do homework, not giving me a minute to take a breath. And things started getting difficult again. When I walked down the streets, I feel like there was a wind blowing in the opposite direction and I could barely move. And I felt like I was moving in slow motion until I got to the point where I just collapsed. The other day, I just could no longer move. I couldn't make it to class. And I got very sick. Not in the traditional flu type sickness, but, just your whole body just burn out and sick to your stomach and your whole nervous system is on the fritz. I call it my mental health days, but it's also physical. But anyway, that's not my point. My point is that I started saying there's got to be a different way to do things. I can't do things this way. I can't be afraid all the time and worry about getting a job. I can't be afraid all the time and worry that I'm going to get straight A's in school, because it's just too much. It's too much for me at 58 years old. I'm tired. I feel like I should be retired, not going on to my second life. But then I thought, well, there's got to be a better way. You can't do things the way I've been doing them. So then I started looking in videos, just kind of passing the time and just trying to relax. And I came across Taoism, which in some ways I've always kind of practiced. But in this way it hit me more than it ever has before. And it's basically like, stop trying so hard. That's how I interpret it. It's like, don't do so much. Don't hurt yourself. Flow as the earth flows, as God flows, as the rivers flow. You have to have a flow with your life. That doesn't mean you don't do anything. See, at first I'm like, oh great, this gives me permission. I can just sleep. And I slept for an entire day, which I'm sure I needed. So it was okay. But then, as I started coming out of that stupor, I started remembering how I used to let my life flow and how I used to not worry so much. And then I started reading more about the Taoist beliefs, and they started aligning with me a lot. And it's basically like, we're really only here for a short period of time, and there's a flow to the universe and a flow to the earth. The earth, the sun comes up, the sun goes down. The seasons change, it starts getting cooler. It's starting to go into fall now. It's still in the triple digits, but we do have cooler lows right now. So it's just aligning yourself with that. If your body becomes tired, back off. It's not the end of the world. And the worst thing that happened to me being on the streets, I met a whole lot of people that I still to this day love with all my heart. So there's always a reason for everything. And that is my message for today. Just keep peace within yourself. Don't overdo it. And be well. Thanks for listening.